as gymnasts.
I think there's only a couple of pieces, isn't there, Joe, that you haven't won world titles on as a team?
Yeah, I think high bar and rings is left. So
that's what you need to concentrate on, Joe, in the next few months. But we can see the gymnasts coming out for the parallel bars final here. Who's your money on for this one, Joe, if you can't be out there?
Well, I'm going to say Cofton's going to put out a very, very big routine in the first half of the competition, which then will apply pressure on the second half of the people competing. So I'm going to put my money on Cofton today.
What about Dowser that's just come out there, because he's in with the shout as well? He's never got gold, but now could be his opportunity.
Definitely, we've seen him put out some amazing routines over this championships, 15-4, 15-3, so we know he's capable of these huge scores. It's just whether he can deliver it on today.
OK, well, let's hand over to Christine Still and Craig Heap in the commentary box, and I'm on my way over to join you.
Thank you, Matt. And yes, it is a very high level field of gymnasts in this parallel bar final. And Lucas Dowser qualified in top spot. And he has been a bit hit and miss, but it looks a little bit more consistent at this championships, Chris.
Yes, there's a bit more hit than missing right at the moment, I think, from Dowser. But this is the pressure. This is the one he wants. He's worked really well for the team and for individual round, but he didn't have a chance for a medal there. He has now, and it's whether he can handle that pressure, I think.
Certainly has, and one to watch. I think Joe's called it quite well. Ilya Koftan picked up a silver in the all-around competition, and he's got a hugely difficult start score, 6.7. So yeah, if it goes on difficulty, he can match that with his execution like we know he can. It'll be a real challenge. But also, the Japanese gymnasts are a bit of a masters on this piece of apparatus as well, Chris.
They are. Yeah, and China. They're all really able to swing the parallel bars with style, and it's a piece that's really improved, I think. Like you were saying, that the beam has improved in interest. For me, parallel bars has been on the men's side like that. The introduction of the more swinging elements probably not helped. Somebody as big as Cofton has not helped with that. But I like this apparatus. It's made a lot of progress, I think.
Yeah, and so like each piece of apparatus, there's certain requirements that the gymnast must perform. Matt, they've got to swing through support, they've got to swing in upper arm, they've got to swing under and over the top of the bars. They're only allowed to do 2 each of those, and then they're looking at an impressive dismount, and we see some real masters. The dismounts change slightly over the years from the pretty standard double pipe back. A lot of these gymnasts will double front out the bars. I think it has become a real popular to watch piece of apparatus.
Well, we've got the absolute master in the studio. So Joe Fraser, world champion 2019. Is it quite difficult to keep that flow going, because it's all about momentum and tempo, isn't it, with this piece?
Yeah, it's important to use the handstands that you get throughout each skill, because that then gives you a time to settle and think about what you're going to do on the next skill going forwards. You don't want to not be thinking about what you're doing. So yeah, it's important that you keep momentum throughout, and then nailing that dismount is going to really put you up into the medals.
So you think it's mostly going to be on the dismount and also the connection of putting 2 moves together so you can build your difficulty score as well?
Yeah, it's really important to put skills together and minimise deductions, so not moving the hands, keeping the legs straight, and then ultimately it's going to come down to who can stick their dismount.
And interestingly, you'll see gymnasts using all of the length of the parallel bars as well.
Yeah, you can. The bars are there to be used, so people use from one side to the other. Others opt to tend to just use the middle section of the bars. So it's really just depending on your body type and what skills you favour towards. But I think we'll see quite a big diversity of skills in this P-bar final.
Well, Joe, we'll talk to you very shortly. There'll be a warm-up halfway around, so we'll check in with you then and see what you make of the first half of this men's parallel bars final. So first up, we've got Kazuma Kaya. He qualified in 8th, but he's just setting the bars as well, and Actually, Joe, I'm just going to come back to you while he's chalking the bars up here, because you can adjust the parallel bars, can't you, to make them absolutely perfect for you as far as your shoulder width is concerned. Joe's settled in, ready for the final.
Well, I'll answer that, Matt. Yes, you can. Probably there's only one other piece of apparatus that you can adjust, which is the pommel horse. But they spend so much time preparing the bars, applying the right amount of choke. This is for the grip. So you know that these gymnasts are going to be doing a lot of underbar work. And it is a bit of a military operation with everybody involved to get the right grip for these gymnasts.
Absolutely. Well, you can see that I was always forearm and 3.
Oh, interesting. I was a forearm and 2 finger width.
Yeah. I've bigger shoulders than you. So. Anyway.
We must have been doing it wrong because we were pretty rubbish. So we need to ask the lads in the studio what they preferred.
Oh, well, Kazuma Kaya at 26 years old kicks off this men's parallel bar final. He got a bronze medal at the World Championships back in 2019. His highest score at these championships so far is a 14.8. So here we go.
Super start, and you can see, as Joe said, you've got to hold the handstand. You need to be able to have a really good handstand shape, because on the parallel bars you use that handstand shape so much. Once it's settled, then you can work into your next element. From the one rail to the double, that's good. Flies up into handstand. And this is the relatively new type of work, the somersaults above the bar and the flight along, super extension. And again, up to that handstand. Well, he's hit his handstands, he's been clean on his elements. Here it comes, the all-important dismount, and that was excellent. Double front half turn. Well, Joe, I think he fulfilled all the requirements that you said.
Look at that, and you can see what it means to Kazuma Kaya. He was absolutely flying and nailed the dismount.
If you look at the scores on this piece of apparatus, it's probably the closest contested final. You go from 15.3 to about 14.8. And that'll score, I think that'll be close to 15. Like I say, a 14.8 in qualification, and the Japanese are real technicians on this piece of apparatus.
Well, he's no stranger to that world medal podium, and he may well be back on it. There's 8 gymnasts in this final.
Moving out towards the end of the rails.
I just love the way that the Japanese gymnasts work this piece of apparatus on straight arms. This is the Bavzar skill. And the gymnast, it is like the Kachev on the high bar, and you need great grip of this skill, and he'll travel back, but you can see into the middle, just a little flex on the knees there. You can see that's the Tipelt skill, hugely difficult, and one of the best dismounts that we'll see in this competition. He finishes with a double front somersault with a half turn. But you can see he reaches through, adjusts the grip. You've got to align the body to swing through.
Well, yeah, I mean, Craig, talking about how close these scores are. That golden score is going to be 15-ish. So how close can he get to 15? 14.733.
They're being a bit harsh with the scores. I thought that would have been a bit closer to 15.
He's just a little bit untidy through the knees and the feet, isn't he? I guess that's where they take the score.
Yeah.
Well, a gymnast that's certainly capable of scoring over 15 is Ilya Kovtun. Look at that, look, 15.233 was his qualification score. But European champion. He got a silver in the all-round competition here at these World Championships, and he's looking on for... Oh, dear.
Spoke too soon. the upper arm skill into the Diamondov. That's good work, the half turn. Look, good control. Now, he normally swings out of that with the Healy turn. That's nice work, good control. Come on, turn out. Anything from the one bar with the turn back to the bars, that ups the difficulty. Very solid on this piece of apparatus. He's been fantastic in the all-around. Big dismount, the double front somersault, sticks the landing. Well, just that, you see, he wasn't happy with that, the start. A really uncharacteristic wobble.
What a shame for him there. Remember, a great parallel bar worker, Vonayev from Ukraine, following in the footsteps of. But yeah, what a shame. That'll be costly. I mean, that walk could well have cost him a medal. We'll have to wait and see how costly it is, but he did have a big score to start with. I mean, he could, you know, 15.233. How costly will those? Well,
it's a tenth for every step, isn't it, Chris? So,
yeah.
And he sort of pulled it back after that, but it just looked a little bit unnerved. That's the issue, and how you compose yourself. He's had quite a hefty programme in this championships, though, Chris. Don't you think they'll be taking its toll now?
A little bit, and he sort of, whereas you might have expected one step, he actually did four, didn't he? So he, you know, 2 hand movements forwards, 2 back. He obviously wanted to work them from the centre of the rails.
And if you compare the routine to the previous gymnast, all his skills come generally from above the bars because he's such a tall gymnast. He does work the apparatus really well.
23 European all-round bronze medalist.
Well,
and 2023 European champion on this apparatus.
Kazuma Kaya has a score of 14.733. Has he done enough to stay ahead of him? No. 14.633 for Ilya Kovtun.
Fair score, I feel.
6-4 on the difficulty.
Without them 4 tenths, he'd have been on the 15. Yeah.
And he knew as soon as he'd done them, as soon as he came off, his face said it all, didn't he?
Well, it leaves the medals wide open because the scores are really tightly bunched together.
Well, Shi Kong scored 14.9 in qualification. He got a bronze medal at the World Championships a couple of years ago on this piece of apparatus. Strong in the team final as well. 22 years old.
And you can always be sure that the Chinese gymnasts will be great technicians. Lovely full turn into the handstand position. Good control on the one rail. Very good handstand shape. A handstand should be straight from toes to fingers, and that certainly is. Good high somersault. Here comes the travel along the Balsar. Really well exited. It's how these link into the routine. Brings those feet strongly together into the full turn. He's building all the difficulty needed. Double pike. Oh, and he kicks that double pike out beautifully, didn't he?
Well, that was absolutely magnificent. It was so smooth from start to finish. An absolute class. Craig?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to see the new leader there. It was just a little bit tighter than Kaya Kazuma of Japan. Again, big on the difficulty, 6.3. It just looked very crisp throughout that routine, Chris, don't you think?
Yeah, it did. And very businesslike, wasn't it?
Well, unbelievably, he was the 5th highest qualifier. I mean, you'd watch that and think he'd be further up the field than that. It just goes to demonstrate the quality that's on show here.
It certainly does. And this is a big skill, the front up rise into the Diamondov. So because it comes from the upper arm, it adds to the difficulty, and then anything from the one bar there turning out, again, that increases the difficulty. It's the 10 most difficult element, so you've got to put as many of those together as you can. And what I really like is his underbar work, the under somersault. Look at the straight arms, and if they bend the arms, that's where the judges take a 10th. But the dismount, absolutely fantastic.
And actually, this is something we've seen from the gymnasts from China, is the quite demonstrative this championships. Previously, they've been quite reserved, but he was cheering himself on.
Look at that. He's over 15.066. Without question, the leader at the moment. And that's going to really pile the pressure on the gymnasts that are come.
Will he be King
Asher Hong. So Yul Moldauer is first. Yul Moldauer, 27 years old. He's the US P-bar champion and capable of close to a 15.
He has a very light frame, which means he can zip up into the handstands. Got a nice pace to this routine. Long swing Diamondov, that's very sharp into the handstand. To one rail and turn out. This is big work. And again from the one bar. Oh! Shoulders too far forwards. Wow, what a shame. It just happened a bit too quick and he struggled to get his hand on in time. Lovely Suarez from the upper arm. And again from the long swing. Big dismount. Double front with the half turn. What a shame, actually. If he hadn't have had that mistake in the middle, I think we would have seen a new leader, but that was very costly.
Very, very costly indeed. He came here with such high hopes. I was talking to Joe earlier on, and he said watch out for him as well, and that's exactly why. But real shame, Chris. Real
It was
shame.
because it was quite a different routine, lots of different skills, lots of exciting skills, and he really does swing with a great pace, but the sort of pace of the swing overtook him, didn't it, and flipped him over. I haven't seen in competition many falls like that, Craig.
Well, what happens, he did one of the turns actually, his fingers were bent over on the parallel bars and he did well actually to bring it back in, but when he caught that late, what happened then was he was too far backwards. Your shoulders go forwards and you can only roll forwards on the bars. Look, there you see his fingers, his hand wasn't on well there, and he did so well to swing out of that one. I thought that was a bit of a lucky escape. But look, you see he caught so late.
Just where he had to use his strength a little bit and over it.
Yeah.
The shoulders had to roll out.
Just the momentum took him over.
And we talk about the fine margins of the sport, and that was costly there. What a shame.
And that, I guess, although he didn't fall off the apparatus, that's the whole mark for the fall on the apparatus.
Well, he put in this extra skill, which should have been a forward roll, which is not a skill which would be credited. That means he had to take an extra swing, and then you lose the momentum for the rest of the routine. What a shame. But one thing, this team from the USA, I think you'll both agree, have been mightily impressive and will be a force to reckon with at the Olympics next year.
Well, this new generation that's coming through, it's like the British team with that draft of youngsters coming in, they're just slightly ahead and they've managed to trial the youngsters. Yul Moldauer scores a 13.133, so he won't challenge for a medal. Now it's the turn of his teammate, Asher Hong.
So quick warm-up now. First four compete and then quick warm-up for the second four.
Interesting, two of the gymnasts in the next group have all scored over 15. But you can see how easily it is to make a mistake. He's got to be one of the favourites, Lucas Dowser.
Absolutely, world silver medalist last year, Olympic silver medalist. in Tokyo. But, let's have a word with Joe Fraser if we can. Joe, if you can hear us, what did you make of the first half of this final here?
An interesting first half, I think. You know, you see some uncharacteristic mistakes, but you know, it's all to play for. There's some big gymnasts going up now, so you know, Dowes will be wanting to perform his best routine and show the world what he's really capable of.
I mean, the leading score at the moment, 15.066 by the Chinese gymnast Shi Kong. I mean, it would look so tight. It's such an incredible routine, and in the dismount, I mean, you were talking about this could be won and lost on the dismount. He absolutely nailed it, didn't he?
He really did, and you know, I spoke about moving of the hands and thinking about the execution, and he made sure he didn't move his hands once throughout that routine. Nailed the dismount. It was probably the best routine he could have performed today, so he'll be happy with his performance, and we'll see where it lays him in the end of the results.
And talking of holding the handstands, it was that walk that Cofton did that cost him, because without that he would have been on the podium, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. You know, we know he's got such a huge difficulty, and I don't think today he managed to perform that on his one bar handstand. So with the steps he made on his earlier skill and then the one bar here, he could definitely have been up there in the medals.
Okay, great. All right, Joe, well, we'll let you enjoy the second half of this, and we'll chat to you in a little while. But yes, the gymnast, the second half of this final, just warming up. Asher Hong from the USA, he'll be up next. But Lucas Dowser, he's the highest qualifier. He's the penultimate gymnast to go in this final. And then keep your eye also on the Japanese gymnast, Sugimoto. He qualified in third. And he scored a 15.166 here at the championships, and that was in qualification. Down slightly in the team final. There he is, Sugimoto. Yeah, so he's just making use of the remaining time of warm-up, and Asher Hong will be the next to go. But we're going to see a new champion anyway.
We are, and I just wonder what the boys are thinking in the studio, Gianni and Joe, because both very good on parallel bars, but it must give them some confidence watching this final to realise they are real contenders. And getting in the gym, we're not seeing anything in this parallel bar final what the lads in the studio can't do.
Oh, lads, let's get your mics up. Bold words from Craig Heap. We're not seeing anything that you can't do. Does this give you the fight to come back, lads? Gianni first.
Yeah, definitely. You know, myself and Joe have been in the parallel bars finals. You know, Europeans last year, World Championships last year. So, you know, seeing it motivates us, and we're hungry. You know, we've got that desire to get back out there.
That is the same for you, Joe, I'm imagining, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. You know, me and G have bounced off each other on P-bars throughout our whole careers. You know, we know what we can achieve on there, and seeing these finals, it makes you really want to be down there. But it also makes you think about how you can construct your routines and make a small impact to make the difference. So I guess we're using it as education right now.
Well said. Brilliant. Excellent. All right then, lads. Well, let's enjoy the latter part of this men's parallel bars world final together. Asher Hong, 14.833 in qualification. Second of the gymnasts from the USA.
And such a big part of the USA team. He made a couple of errors throughout the championships. He'll be really keen to leave this apparatus with a clean routine, and that was good. Beautiful swing up to handstand. Shows that good shape. Oh, and he controlled that well out onto the one rail. And again, he's linking the skills. Lovely turn into the handstand there, and here we go. The all-important dismount. He nailed it. It was a bit low chest to the knees, but he was cleanly through.
Well, he delivered where his teammate slightly faltered. Asher Hong with it all to do. He was the 6th highest qualifier, but He's in with a shout with that routine, Craig.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it'd be good enough to get into the top spot, but I do think it's good enough to get into the medals with a few to go, because he did put together a really great routine. And again, a bit like his teammate, it's quite a zippy routine, got a great pace about it. I mean, just look how wide he actually has the rails as well. Look at this. That's the difficult skill. From the one rail, just brushed his leg on the apparatus. But there, the Healy turn. This is the blind catch. You've really got to get the hand on before the feet travel below the vertical. Otherwise, as we've seen what happens, you're going forwards whether you like it or not. And a huge dismount, double front with the half turn. Yes, chest right down, but he spotted the landing.
Well, 15.066 is a big ask to go into the lead, but 14.733 is second and 14.633 is third. And it's 14.466. Fourth for Asher Hong. Covington hanging in there at the moment in third with that 14.633.
Well, I'm surprised at that, to be honest. It must be the dismount, Chris, you picked up on.
And he brushed the bar, didn't he, with the slow motion you could see.
Well,
let's go to
Levin Tessie certainly could find his way onto the podium here. 26-year-old, he fell in the team final. But he's capable of high 14s. He knows he's in with a shout. He just needs to try and stay relaxed. Here is the oldest competitor in this parallel bar final, 30 years old.
Lovely start. Swinging under the bars, up onto the top, the one rail. Come on. Oh, he's going to turn out. Well saved. And again, he's keeping the momentum going. Travelling under the bars, that's one of the requirements. Oh, that step. 3/4 tenths left there. Big long swing Diamondov. Connected into the Bavzar. Plenty of height and flight. Big skill from the upper arm. Huge double pipe, that big step forward. What a shame. They were a bit, he's a little bit annoyed at himself because he had a real opportunity, but I don't think it'd be good enough to get up into the medals today.
No, real shame. It's a story of gone walkabout, isn't it, this final, Chris, for those not making it onto the medal podium?
It has indeed, and actually Italy made team final, but we really haven't seen much of them in these finals at all. They were great at Europeans, and I don't think they will have felt they've had a great World Championships.
I think they've had sort of a similar World Championships to the British team, actually. We did a lot better in the European Championships earlier this year, and it's very difficult, isn't it, to bring yourself up from a major championships to peak again at the right time. But yeah, I think they haven't featured like we expected, Chris.
No, I like this swing though, like the pace of his routine. The bits that went really well were very exciting, and he has a beautiful line on the apparatus.
Up above the rails.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Execution score.
Yeah.
Well, this is a bit in the routine where it was a very simple skill, actually, the pirouette. And he had to just make those adjustments. And a bit like Covington, he moved his hands 4 times. So that were 4 tenths. That was a lovely skill in the middle. The Bavzar, he was way above the bars.
It just lacked a little bit of discipline, didn't it, the routine? Lovely flashes of brilliance, and then a big step on landing.
Step forward, he knows that might be costly. Great effort from the Italian, well done.
Well, he knows it really won't challenge, and it doesn't. It's 13.866, he's in 5th. So 15.066 is still the score to beat. And the next gymnast could do that. He's completed his routine 3 times. He's scored a 15.3, a 15.366 and a 15.4. Lucas Dowser, he got a second at last year's World Championships. Germany have never won gold on this piece. He's actually the only gymnast from Germany to medal on parallel bars. So can he upgrade his silver and become world champion? Now is his chance.
Well, he undoubtedly has the ability, but has he got the nerve when he knows it's within his grasp? That's a super start. And nicely through those difficult combinations. Hits his handstands, gives himself the breathing space. Settles himself. Oh, and that was important, and he answered the test. And again, very nice turns. Just needs to keep his focus up to the end. Oh, fantastic. Well, he definitely held his nerve.
Well, if you're going to win it, you want to win it in style, and that is what Lucas Dowser has just done. There's one gymnast left to go in this man's parallel bars final, but surely Lucas Dowser has done enough to take gold. Phenomenal routine that. He hit every handstand and nailed the dismount.
Well, we've seen this gymnast in many a parallel bar final and always sort of fallen short at the final furlong, but that was absolutely the best routine I think he has ever done. He's going to go into the 15th. He's been silver medalist so many times, and I'm going to stake my
claim, stick your neck out.
I'm going to stick my neck out and say
and have a swing.
That's the new parallel bar world champion. It had a bit of everything. It had the tempo, it had the difficulty, it had the style, it had the class.
It had everything. It was sublime in every way, Chris.
It was. I'm delighted to see him come good, really, because he's certainly got the ability.
Well, he had 6.6 in qualification. He had the same routine there. I think that's up towards 15.5.
Yeah.
I would struggle to find out where you would take the deductions.
Yes, he was very strong, very positive.
What a strong performance he's put in.
I mean, the difficulty level and the execution. I mean, he just looks so sure with his hand placements. And then this dismount here. Not a flicker.
Not a flicker. 15.5, got to be. That's what I'm going for.
Well, he got a 6.6 D score in qualification. So he needs to be into the 9s for execution.
We've got everything crossed for you. 15.4. One more to go, but Lucas Dowser goes into the lead. He's looking good for gold.
Lucas Dowser in first place, second.
Shi Kong, 15.066. Second. Can this lad get himself up onto the podium as well? Kaito Sugimoto. He just needs to stay calm. He's just 23 years old, this lad.
Fluid into the handstand. Lovely work there, the control from the upper arm. Under somersault. Oh, just that one pace with the hand. That's good. Straight arms. Lifts high into the front somersault. He'll pirouette on the end, travel back down the bars. Look at the height there on the Bavzar. Well, he's going for it. He'll go back into the middle of the bars. You can see the change in body shape. Locks out in the Tipelt. It's good work. Big concentration for the big dismount. The double front with the half turn. Sticks the landing. Well, it's good. I don't think it's good enough for first, but it's good enough for a medal.
It was a smooth finish. I loved that routine. The height that he got. He launched himself up into the arena. Well, the score is 14.633 for a medal. That's Covton.
Well, it was certainly a very smooth routine.
Is he going to knock his teammate
It's actually
out of the seat?
Yeah. It's Kaya Kazuma who is in third place at the moment with 14.733. Apologies, my score.
I think that'll
update.
challenge the second spot, actually. If you think Shi Kong got a 15.066, that was pretty clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well. And all of his somersaulting moves were so high and positive. He really added a little bit extra to those. I don't think he's probably got the difficulty to challenge for that first place, but look how high that front somersault above the bar was.
We often talk about the Bavzar skill. Is this it? Look at the height of the top of that. Some of the gymnasts just scrape the legs across the rails. Well, that must have been 2 foot above the bars.
And he had his legs joined completely before he came down to the level of the bars. This was great as well.
One of the things the Japanese gymnasts are good at is the landings.
Yep.
And I think if you took a survey of all the landings during these championships, the Japanese gymnasts would be at the top. That's another stat for you to work on, Matt.
Well, all eyes are on the scoreboard at the moment. 15.4 is the leader, 15.066 for second, 14.733 for bronze. It's 15, he's gone into that bronze medal position ahead of his teammate Kazuma Kaya, who was the first gymnast up in this final. But look at that, Germany have a world parallel bar champion, Lukas Dauser. He's had a silver lining to his finals most of his career, but my word, now he is the world champion with a phenomenal routine. 15.4 he scored, but it's the gold medal that he cares about. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Lukas Dauser of Germany. Shi Gong of China, he takes the silver medal. But there is the bronze medalist, Keito Sugimoto. He was the last gymnast up, had a lot of gymnastics to watch before he had his opportunity and his chance. Somehow he managed to stay calm, went up last, and he won a bronze medal. Let's have a word with Joe Fraser as we're looking at the silver medalist, Shi Gong, taking the silver with 15.066. Joe, a well-deserved champion, no doubt, you think?
Yeah, for sure. Dauser's been on the scene for so long now, and he's always been wanting to get that world championship title. So to see him do it in such a fashion, I think it was well deserved.
And what did you make of Sugimoto, who was last to go, came up 15? It was a high-scoring final in the end.
Yeah, I think, being last up and seeing some of the scores that have come out, he would have known that he's got to leave it all out there. And like I said, it was going to come down to the dismount landings, and all three of the people on the podium stuck their dismount. So I really think these small margins are going to be the difference in the coming years.
Yeah, well, get to work on your dismounts. That's the plan, Joe? Anyway, Lukas Dauser, he's the world champion. Shi Gong of China takes the silver, and Sugimoto of Japan, he finishes third. Kazuma, his teammate, fourth. Ilya Covton down in fifth after that walk on the bars. But what a final we've seen here. There's 2 more finals left to go for you this afternoon. We've got the floor final with Simone Biles and Alice Kinsella, and then we'll finish on a high with high bar a little bit later on this afternoon. The high flyers will be out there. Daiki Hashimoto, the all-around king, he'll be swinging the high bar as well just before 5 o'clock. So plenty more gymnastics to come here for you. on BBC Two. But that to me was a fantastic routine that took silver. Qigong.
Oh, absolutely. And I would think that China have really done well on a couple of pieces, but you know, we often see them on more than what they have done. It seems to be the World Championships for a lot of teams that are not just at the peak. And it's obviously the fact that it's this final phase up until the Olympic Games. Everybody's trying new people.